The coffee smelled of roasted coffee beans and rain-soaked earth. Morning light streamed through the window, painting golden patterns on the wooden tables. For most customers, it was just another day. But for Daniel this morning carried a weight he couldn't name. He adjusted his watch nervously, its ticking louder than the hum of chatter around him. She was late, 15 minutes. Each second stretched like an hour, echoing memories he had tried to bury. He had not seen Clara in 3 years, not since the night everything had fallen apart. And yet, when her message arrived 2 weeks ago, asking simply, "Shall we talk?" he knew he could not refuse. The door finally opened, and there she was, different, yet painfully familiar. Her smile was hesitant, carrying both regret and hope. She crossed the room slowly, her footsteps measured, as if afraid the floor itself might collapse beneath the weight of what they had left unsaid. "Daniel," she whispered, her voice trembling like the first note of a forgotten song. Daniel stared at her silently, feeling like time was folding back on itself. 3 years seemed like an instant. Clara sat across from him, looking down at their clasped hands. "I didn't know you'd come," she said in a faint voice. He said, "I didn't know either." The memory of that last night flooded them. The harsh words, the tears, the door closing with a bang that still echoed in both of their memories. They had loved intensely, but also with fear. And fear, finally, had won. The murmur of the coffee seemed to end. Clara looked up, her eyes moist. "I've changed, Daniel, but I never stopped thinking about you." He took a deep breath, feeling the tension of years slowly loosen. "I tried too, but I didn't know how to leave you behind." A silence enveloped them. Outside, the rain pounded the glass again, as if the city wanted to mark a new beginning. Daniel reached across the table, hesitating for a moment before touching Clara's fingers. She didn't move away. Perhaps the wounds couldn't be erased, but they could be transformed. And in that coffee filled with memories, they discovered there was still a place to return to: each other. Daniel smiled for the first time in a long time, a shy but sincere smile. In that moment, he understood that the past couldn't be changed, but the future was still open. Daniel took a deep breath, looked at her and said, "Clara, I have thought for a long time about what we were, and for many years, I was certain that what we had was buried that night. But now that I see you, I realize that there is still something I am willing to try." Clara's eyes filled with a feeling she thought extinct. Perhaps she felt nostalgia for what once was. They shone in an indescribable way as she searched in Daniel's face for the man she once knew. She said, "I cannot promise that the past will not haunt us," she whispered, "but I can promise that I am no longer the same, and I am willing to let our hearts intertwine again." Daniel looked at her with joy. He no longer had any doubt. His face lit up with hope. The cafe door opened and closed behind some people. The world went on its course, but for them time had stopped. Clara reached out her hand and brushed Daniel's, hesitant but trusting. They both knew that the past would always be there, engraved in their memories like scars, but in that moment they chose not to live in what was broken. They chose instead the possibility of a new beginning.